Did have a bump in mind if there was ever a cell 2 with me and Undertaker.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
What would that have been?
Okay, so keep the gimmicked cell in mind. This was around 2009, 2010. I was thinking, man, if I had come back to WWE at 250 and hadn't had the head injuries, like maybe I would have pushed for that. But when I came back, I was heavy and it just wasn't in the cards. Here comes, and I took the same bump I took with Big Show at Mania 99. Same bump I took with Leon White, but we did it on the wooden ramp, which should have been the.
You wrote in your book, you thought that would be it.
I thought it'd be it, and I was trying to cash in on my Lloyd's of London policy.
Yeah,
couldn't believe that I wasn't, and I was definitely hurting, but not as injured as I thought I would be. But essentially, when people see that bump, the one I did with Big Show's 400, and I'm on his back, and there's no magic there. If there's a secret to it, it is you just got to keep your bodies tight.
Yeah.
Because if he hits and there's a 3-inch gap, or an inch gap, and then I could break every rib in my. There's no telling what damage will be done. And I thought if Undertaker and I went up there, and man, this is the most, this is an iconic scene, Undertaker and Foley back up, Undertaker, Mankind, Undertaker, Foley back up on top of the cell. Here comes the mandible claw, Mr. Sacco. Here I am up on Undertaker's back. But instead of just dropping backwards, he's doing it from 16 feet, may have been 20 by that point. And the key is we got to be tight. And the key is we're going to go right through that freaking ring. Boom, ching, and there'll be something underneath it, not on the surface. So I don't know how I want it to look more realistic. And I want it to be almost, you don't think you get some holy.
Oh my gosh.
For minutes. And then when that first hand, whoever it was, comes up out of there, I don't know how you finish from there. Or maybe that's just the end of it, but that was the big bump.
Two stretcher
jobs. And I'm getting the buzz because again,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't see it, because if something goes wrong there, whoa.
Yeah, there's no margin for error.
Yeah.
And there's, even though Undertaker would be on top of me, I don't know if I could do that to a guy with a family, because that's so dangerous on his behalf too. And clearly, I would have been facing a very high risk of serious injury too.
Yeah, no kidding.
I still believe I could have done it, and it would have been the greatest bump in the history of professional wrestling.